Hi, this is Reasons Are Several, a weekly podcast that is huge in Canada. My name is Matt. With me is Kristin. Hi, Kristin.
I always take a sip. I'm so sorry.
How's it going?
Hello. Good.
Kristin, for those who don't know, is from the How Was Your Week, Honey podcast that she does with her husband, Chris. Do you want to tell everybody where they can find that show?
Are you fucking kidding me?
I'm just the Twitter feed.
I can be found at Maier.
Yep.
And the Twitter feed is at...
You got it. At HWYWH.
Honey.
You recently had a pretty sweet episode, I hear. Episode 69. It was so hot that it had to be broken into 2 installments, is what I hear.
It's very true. Yeah. That was a good time. I'm so happy that you were on.
No, that was fun. I hope we do it again sometime soon, and I'm glad to have you on the show today. Neil couldn't do it this week, so I appreciate you filling in. If you do want to go check out that show, episode 69, it's in 2 parts. How was your week, honey? It's a really, really fun talk that the 3 of us had. I wanted to start off by telling you about my weekend.
Oh, good.
If that's okay.
Yes.
So I did not.
How was your week, honey?
How was my weekend, motherfucker? I did not participate in the Portland Naked Bike Race, but that did go on. I think that was on Saturday. Have you ever seen that? It's pretty, yeah.
No, all I can see is Seinfeld in my head.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like what you shouldn't be doing naked.
Yeah. Seattle does one too, and it's a bad idea. I mean, I think it's like people, you know, you think about like nude beaches, and people think about it, and they go there and go, "Oh, this is not what I was expecting at all." This is worse because people are like sitting on bikes and in odd positions, and their legs are flailing around, so it's a little scary. So, luckily, not everybody goes naked, but quite a few do.
I hope their chains don't fall off.
Oh, yeah. They're just sitting there on the side of the road having to change their tire. Oh, nobody wants to see that.
Oh.
But on Saturday, I went out with my lady friend and our friends, my buddy Ryan and his girlfriend. And there was this thing that, so my lady friend belongs to this wine club at some winery that's out west. And they had this dinner that you could do, which was downtown. And so we go, and I'm thinking, okay, so it's a dinner. They do a 6-course meal, and they like pair a bunch of wines with every course, and it's, you know, yeah, so it's pretty cool. And so we show up, and it's this big, long, like community table. So we're all just together. You know, we thought we were just going to be at a table with our friends.
How do you like that?
Well, it makes for interesting conversations, but otherwise I would just like, I just assumed it'd be the 4 of us, but that's okay. So we sit down to get into this, and so then our friends show up. And it's like, and I'm not a huge like light kind of like white wine drinker or anything like that. I don't really like that kind of stuff. I'm more of a red wine drinker. They go through and the food's great. It's all these small portions. They're drinking it with the wine. It's really good. But you start noticing things around the table, like this one couple to our left, this older couple, are getting like half glass pours, refills, constantly getting paid attention to, and we're getting like these tiny little, because you've done your share of wine tasting.
I have done wine tasting, and I live in a retirement community, and I see what they think that they deserve and how people treat them. Ageism right here.
I think it is. So, but yeah, normally in a wine tasting, they only give you what, like 2 swallows, 2 drinks or so, something like that.
Well, no, you should have enough that you swish, go over your palate, and then take another sip.
Oh, so is that what the...
Yeah.
Okay. See, I don't know because I'm not a huge wine person.
But there's a lot of wine in Portland. Like, you have wineries around, so...
We have a ton of wineries out west, yeah. I'm pointing out here, like you can see, out this way, out west.
I talk to my peeps this way, so don't worry about it.
Right. But it was funny, so there was that going on. So my buddy Ryan and I just keep looking over going, this fucking guy is getting away with murder over there. He keeps getting all these drinks, and we're getting nothing. Like, the waiters are literally like walking right by us. Like, can we get up? So then the other part of it is we're sitting across from this gal and her boyfriend, and we just having kind of light chat, and I don't even know how this happens. I can't remember what the conversation was. Maybe somebody threw out something about marriage or something, and this gal just starts in. Her boyfriend, by the way, is in the bathroom at the time. She's like, "Oh yeah, I've got a $50,000 ring sitting in a safe back home." I'm like, what are you talking about? She goes, "Oh, it's from my previous fiance. He gave me a $50,000 ring, but we were only engaged for 9 months, and I listed it on the stuff that's kind of like up, to discuss, and he never brings it up, so it's just sitting in a safe."
Where do you go with that? Like, I wouldn't have anything. And the waiter's not coming around. So what the fuck?
The first question my lady friend asked is $50,000. Like, how many carats is this thing? And she goes, it's 5 carats. That is a fucking huge ring.
I don't know. Celsius, Fahrenheit, what?
You don't know carats are not the same?
You know, I'm not a really big fan of rings or jewelry.
Okay, gotcha. Well, so 5 carat is
Big.
absolutely enormous.
Yes.
So then she goes, well, I had another one from a previous. So apparently she was engaged to this guy who was a hand surgeon, gave her the 5 carat ring that's still in limbo. Before that, she was engaged to some other dude who was also a surgeon, gave her a 7 carat ring.
What did this woman look like?
Do you believe any of this?
No.
Because I think it's total horseshit.
What did she look like?
I mean, she was not a bad looking gal. I was shocked by her age. I thought she was going to say she was like 31. She was our age. She was 43.
That is not my age.
It was, sorry. I'm seeing my age, like me and my peeps.
Okay.
Sorry, you are younger, but I thought
am.
she was a little bit younger, and she has like a 19-year-old. She started early. So she's got a whole lot going on. I just thought it was funny that people offer that kind of stuff up in a setting where we had literally talked to her for like 3 minutes total.
That makes me uncomfortable. Like, I'm an oversharer, and even like...
Well, you have a podcast, so do I.
Exactly, right? So I don't mind being like the center of attention and telling like audacious stories, but that's not cool. I don't know.
No.
You don't bring up numbers ever. Just no numbers.
I just thought that was odd.
Yeah.
I thought it was odd. And then I'm like putting my hand over my wife's and like pushing it down, like, don't show her yours. She's talking about 5 and 7 carat rings. We're not in that vicinity.
No. My ring is super cool because Chris, my husband, he designed it. So it's beautiful for me, right? Because he knows I don't like jewelry, so he didn't get me a typical ring kind of thing. So he designed it himself. And so I like my ring, and I have no idea what carat it is.
That's good. The funny thing, or the most awkward part of that, of course, being she finishes telling us all that stuff, and then guess who comes back to the table? Her boyfriend.
Her boyfriend.
And he's telling us how like
no pressure, buddy.
Well, I was thinking, okay, this guy must be loaded too. But I don't know. It didn't seem like it from the conversation we were having. I was like, oh, this poor guy has 0 chance.
Well, I don't know. I mean, he was at a 6-course wine tasting dinner, so he had to have some kind of finances.
True. And I guess if you're looking at trends, he only has to get her a 3 carat now because she's gone from 7 to 5. So he's going in the right direction. The guy after him is going to make out like a bandit. So
see, now, if it was the guy for me, I'd be like, I have a ring in the safe. So if you ever want to, just use that one.
We'll just use that.
Yeah, right? Like, let's be practical here.
Or hawk it.
Absolutely.
And spend 40 of that 50 grand and just get me a cheaper, you know what I mean? Come on.
Or a car.
Yeah, or a car. That would work too. Or
car way better than a ring.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about some sports.
Yay.
We seem to kind of fluctuate in, that's okay. We seem to fluctuate in our sports desk talk between like golf and soccer, which, sorry to all you alpha males out there, or maybe you Canadians, because you guys hate soccer. I found out.
Soccer.
A lot of negativity on the soccer front.
So we just don't have soccer, really. I played soccer like when I was 5 or something, and it was terrible. The only thing I liked about it was the orange slices at halftime.
Well, those are important.
Yes.
What's the main kid's sport then growing up when it isn't?
I played AA softball, and I played ringette.
Remind me what that is again.
Oh, fuck no.
I don't know ringette. Is that the one where it's like you got sticks and there's right?
Yes.
No? Okay. And I'm doing weird gestures with my hands that are making you uncomfortable.
They're not.
You do something with the rings. I don't know how it works. You need to explain it.
Okay, so it's like hockey, but you have sticks with no, what's that thing called?
With the stick blade.
The blade. Now I'm doing weird things with my hands. Okay. So it doesn't have a blade, and you have to stab a donut, like a ring, and you have to pass over the blue lines. But other than that, it's pretty much the same. And so when I was younger, there was no girls hockey. So that's what you had to play. So we would play softball all through the spring and then train all summer for ringette. And then ringette started usually in August.
This rings a bell because I think on your show, like in the early days of your show, you talked about how prolific you were at ringette.
Well, I wasn't good. I tried really hard. I didn't make the team.
I thought you were good.
Well, I didn't make the team the first year. And
the
that
first year, but
yeah,
then
that kind of lit a fire in my ass. So then I trained extra hard and I ruined our garage door with wrist shots for all summer. And I did not ever get cut again, but I wasn't good. Like I wasn't the star on the team or anything like that.
And guys never play ringette. It's only women.
No, we actually had a lot of guys play. All the best players, like all the AA and AAA players, the juniors, they all played for us. Wayne Gretzky played. Lots of hockey players play because it teaches a lot of finesse. And so a lot of guys got extra ice time, right? So if they were like high school hockey, you don't get a ton of ice time, but they were still trying for like the Kelowna Rockets or like all of our WHL teams. So they would play ringette just to get extra ice time.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, that makes sense.
And then then I dropped out because my sister was a goalie and she was really good. So money went to her. And because I wasn't that good.
Well, that shit's expensive.
Exactly.
Any of those leagues are expensive.
Yeah. So
like the hockey, I mean, my kids are nowhere near being hockey players.
No.
But I remember looking into it at one point just to see what the costs were associated. And it's just outrageous because they do so much travel. They have to, especially here. There, you can probably do less of it because so many people play. But here, there's less teams, so they have to travel.
Well, actually, here it's very difficult because we live in a valley and it's just our team, like Penticton. So you have to travel to all the different cities. So like we have to go to Vancouver every second weekend, and like that's insane.
Yeah. That's a long distance. So
for everything. So
that's true. So the World Cup's going on. You're a huge fan.
Huge fan.
And there is a
Matt, you would be impressed with me today. I saw a score and I was like, "Oh, that's a huge upset." Well, not really because Argentina still won, but they almost didn't, and I knew about that.
Yeah, good.
Yay.
See, you're picking up on it. I see. The thing is, I mean, I follow a league, like I follow the English league, and it can be a bit of a grind sometimes because it's just a lot of games. But the World Cup's just easy because it's only every 4 years. There's only 3 games in the group stage, and you go on. So it's pretty easy to follow. And
it's only every 4 years.
It's only every 4 years.
I had no idea. It's like the Olympics for soccer.
For soccer.
No wonder
Although
why
they actually
everybody's
have soccer
freaking
in the Olympics
out.
too. But yes, every
sense.
every other. So the offsetting is like the European Championships happen in the 2 years between. So there's still stuff going on, but the World Cup's pretty special. Anyway, it's in Russia. Sometimes they do things a little bit differently in Russia, as you know. I don't know if you saw. Did you see the video after they won their first game of the bear in the back of the fucking Jeep playing a vuvuzela?
No, I did not.
You need to see that video. It is unbelievable. Fucking massive bear in the back of a car, and he's playing the vuvuzela, and they're going down the street like in a parade. And then toward the end of the clip, he starts doing like this, like, you got to look at the camera. He does this like flip off motion like this. He's going like flipping people off like this. It was the weirdest.
Did they
win?
win?
Look it up. Yeah, they won. They won huge. And so the bear just was just ecstatic.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
So go look up.
I have
Russia
to write it down though.
Bear
I won't remember.
Vuvuzela. If you do Russia bear vuvuzela, you'll get there.
Okay.
So their oddities extend to advertising as well. And I don't know if you saw this, but Burger King, this is the title of this article. Burger King apologized for a campaign that rewarded Russian women who get impregnated by World Cup players. The company's Russian division posted an apology Tuesday, this is last week, on the social media site VK, announcing it has pulled the campaign due to backlash and removed all materials related to the promotion. The original post was offered earlier on Tuesday, offering women a lifetime supply of Whoppers as well as 3 million Russian rubles, which is about 47 grand, if they become impregnated by a soccer star.
Okay. So I did hear about this.
Did you? Okay, good.
And my girlfriend and I were talking because it was kind of like marrying a prince. Burger King. And we were like, a whole year of Whoppers. I'm pretty sure that
Lifetime.
our husbands lifetime. I thought it was a whole year. So
Lifetime.
even for a year, we thought our husbands would let us go over there. And that's what we talked about at the kindergarten door the other day.
Oh no. Well, they do Russian mail order brides this way, so why not the other way too, you know?
Exactly.
So the for these girls, it will be possible to get the best football genes and will lay down the success of the Russian national team on several generations ahead. Forward, we believe in you.
Oh my God.
That's what the ad said.
So they're like studying them out, like thoroughbreds kind of thing.
Yes. Yes.
That's just wrong.
It is. But I just love the we believe in you. We believe in you. Like, go bang Ronaldo, which now you might be up for that one. You have a new appreciation.
A very new appreciation. Thank you. I mean, all the women at gymnastics, thank you, actually.
Yeah, I sent I told Kristin, I guess that was last week, to go look up videos of Ronaldo and shirtless because he likes to take his shirt off when he scores. And it didn't disappoint.
40 minutes. The whole gymnastics crew. That was like the most excited we had been all year. Saturday mornings.
The poor kids, your poor kids are out there working their butts off. And you're like, Mom, look, like whatever.
And it was their last one. So they're like holding up like, the certificate. I passed gymnastics. And we're like, whoa, look at that one.
You're like, great, you did a, cartwheel. I'm looking at some abs right now. Thanks, though.
Burger King and Ronaldo.
Well, I was also wondering, I was like, do you think it's only for like legit stars? Like if you bang like the backup goalkeeper for Panama or something, you just get like 10 whoppers
a year.
A year total. Oh man.
Yeah, no, it's only stars.
Yeah. The image, I don't know if you saw the image of the ad, it just shows like the bump on the lady, big pregnant lady.
No, I did not see the image.
I mean, what the fuck are they thinking?
I don't know. Russians. At least it wasn't a golden shower.
Oh, man. Don't put it past them. That might be the next one. Oh, Jesus.
Mountain Dew.
Do the do. Also, at the World Cup, and I sent you this article, they talked about, so Mexico had a huge upset in the first game when they played Germany.
They did.
And
because Germany, they won last time.
They did. Yeah. Good. 4 years ago. They are the champions. Very good. Woo-hoo. See, you know what you're talking about. So, I mean, since all that's happened now, Germany is, they beat Sweden and they're looking good to advance, but I think they still have to win. I think it's tomorrow. But two different approaches taken by Germany and Mexico. As anticipation among the people of Mexico built earlier this month, a controversial sex story radically changed the discussion and left the nation in fear that its national team players were more interested in what they could do with their private parts than their feet. Well, that's a gimme. Aren't we all?
I hate
yes,
feet.
It's cool. Yo, do you have a foot thing?
I hate, don't touch my feet. It's horrible. Don't touch my feet.
Is it your feet or other people's feet?
I don't care about other people's feet. Just don't touch mine.
Just yours. Interesting.
Although,
you don't want a foot massage.
No, fuck. No.
I thought you've talked about pedicures on your show. Have you not?
Yes, and I just took my 5-year-old for a pedicure this weekend, and it was fabulous. I don't mind paying someone to touch my feet.
Oh, that sounds even weirder.
I
know. Oh, that's fucking funny. So, Gossip Magazine TV Notas, I hope I'm saying that right, revealed photographs and details of how 8 members of the squad attended a party with escorts in Mexico City following a warm-up victory over Scotland. Apparently, they, quote, partied for 24 hours with 30 escorts. And I'm also going to guess a couple keys of cocaine because I don't know how you're up for 24 hours partying with 30 escorts.
They don't have kids.
I guess. Still, I think you'd be wiped out. The players were not punished. Guillermo Cantu of the Mexican Football Federation explained, a free day is a free day, and those are the risks that runs with one's freedom. That's fair.
Totally fair.
I mean, they're not doing anything wrong. Nope. However, I guess many of them are married, so that's not so good.
But is it our place to judge what you do? I mean,
it is their free time.
That's right. No, if that's what they have to, if that's what they have, I mean, you can't get mad at someone for doing something to someone else, right? So for the whole media, we can't be mad about that. Go on.
Right. And it is, it is the oldest profession, the escort prostitution business.
Canada's legalizing pot. I think that prostitution's next.
You think so? That's quite a leap.
It is, but can you imagine? We would keep all the women so much safer, and we would have so many tax dollars.
That's true.
Okay.
Yeah, we legalized weed a little while ago, and it's funny that some of the names of the stores, the dispensaries, are hilarious because they're all just puns. They all have ridiculous punny names.
I didn't know that you guys were legalized.
Yeah, it was like 2 years ago, maybe, or something like that. A year or two ago.
Oh.
Yeah, it was medical from before that, and then now it's recreational.
Oh, really? Oh, wow. I thought it was just California.
Well, in Washington, I believe,
yeah.
did, and then in Colorado.
Washington, it was so fun. The first time we went down to Washington, I was like, Chris, go in there. And he went in with my dad.
To a dispensary?
Yes.
Nice. Yeah. Well, my buddy tells this story. It was actually the guy that was with us on the wine outing. He tells this funny story of going into this place, and our area code here for our phones is 503. So there's this business called 50 Tree. And so he goes in there, and the guy's like, the people, I can't remember what you call them, whatever the equivalent is of like a wine. I always forget that name. It's like a French
connoisseur.
Yeah, but not connoisseur. It's like oh God, the people that basically say, what kind of flavors do you like?
A bud genie.
Sure.
That's what, in my mind, that's what they're called.
That's what it is. So the guy was asking him just ridiculous questions though. It would be like, so, do you like Brady Bunch or Scooby Doo? And then would base which weed to get him based on that kind of stuff. Like, what are you talking about? I haven't doing anything.
That when he left, they all laughed at him.
Oh, I'm sure. Well, that and the guy was probably high as a kite anyway. So he's just like, I don't know, I'm just gonna make shit up and then give him one particular strain. What doesn't matter.
That's funny.
The twist: the team Mexico upset, by the way, Germany, received the opposite news coverage prior to the Cup because they banned their players from having sex. What? So that brings us to the question, how much sex should footballers be having when they are preparing to play and performing on the game's biggest stage? And is it a harmful distraction or perhaps a positive one? And how do their bosses keep it under control? That last one, I don't know how. I don't know how your bosses keep that shit under control. But is it a distraction? What do you think?
What do you think? You're a hockey player.
I think that doesn't make any difference at all. I don't think it matters at all. I mean, if anything, they want them to be freaking comfortable and relaxed. So why wouldn't you just let them bone down if they want to? Yeah,
absolutely. I think that's crazy. And Germany lost, right?
Germany lost, yeah.
Because they're all pent up, frustrated, right?
Exactly, right. And you know what? We saw the Wags come on the field at the end of the championship, the final last year, and we saw what the German guys are dating and married to, and I can see why they'd be frustrated. Like, God damn it, can I just bang my wife, please?
But you know what? Lots of sports do that. When I dated the captain of the hockey team, they weren't allowed to have sex before big games.
So ever. Like the day of, the day before, the week
day before.
Of, like what?
It was like the day before, and he had a curfew. But honestly, he always played better when we did.
And they were none the wiser.
Even if I just gave him a blowjob, he was better.
I was going to say, honestly, just a quick handy or something. No big deal.
He was always better that way. I mean, so obviously that's, proof it's in the pudding.
Yes, I agree. The pudding. Oof, that's kind of paints an interesting picture. Well, it's
I know. That's what I was like. What was that?
Did you ever see the movie Bull Durham, that baseball movie with Kevin Costner? Yes. So see, there's a big whole thing about there where Tim, oh my God, I'm forgetting his last name right now, but Susan Sarandon's husband, Tim Robbins, they
broke up.
Yes, right. But sorry, at the time they were together. But he's on a hot streak, so he's not supposed to sleep with her during that stretch because it's more of a jinx than like a regular practice.
I'm superstitious with that, so if you're like wearing the socks, beard, I get that. So if you're not having sex, then you shouldn't have sex.
Yeah,
but if you have regular sex, then you should be having regular sex because
respect the streak.
I did look it up, and I mean, I think the World Cup is like 50 days. 50 fucking days.
From start of training, maybe.
Whatever. That's
the
50
actual
days.
cup itself. Yeah, the actual cup itself, I think, is more like 30. But yeah, probably from the start of training, they're probably there for a few weeks before the cup.
50 days.
Yeah. Unless you get knocked out early, then you can go home and bang your wife.
But I would be tempted to get knocked out early so I could go knock out my wife, right? Like,
right.
I'm not a girl or a guy, but you know what I mean.
It makes you wonder.
I don't get it.
Watching some of those teams play, if maybe they had their mind on something else.
Absolutely. I think
shouldn't let them bang. There are two main viewpoints. This is from the article over whether sex ahead of a major sporting occasion is beneficial. As Brazilian sexologist, boy, what a title. Regina Navarro discussed in an article with Sputnik. There is research suggesting that for semen to form, a great deal of male energy is spent, which makes men sluggish and sleepy.
That was my favorite part of the whole article.
Certainly after unloading said sperm, you are spent and sleepy, sluggish. But there's other research that demonstrates that sex to a great deal raises one's spirits, rendering them bold. Good sex makes you more brave and inspired. Hell yeah, it does. I want to go take on that fucking Vuvuzela bear after I've had sex. And it's also said in the article, it's not just sex with a partner that matters. Masturbation also cropped up as a discussion point ahead of the World Cup. What the shit? You can't beat off? I mean, give me a break.
I don't think I agreed with that, actually.
Oh, you don't think you should beat off? You think you should have sex?
Yes, because masturbation makes me feel guilty.
Oh, God. Were you raised Catholic or something?
No. It just does. I'm just like, like, I don't know. So, I mean, it happens, whatever. But I think that to actually feel the euphoria, to go play a good game, you definitely need to be with somebody.
Well, I mean, that's preferred.
No, not preferred. I think that it's
it's
detrimental. Yes, I think it's detrimental to a player if they are like, I'm by myself.
Right. Like they're gonna be like setting up for a penalty kick, and the whole time they're not thinking about where they're gonna put the ball. They're thinking about the fact that they jerked it last night and they shouldn't have done that. So you're down with that part of the article, though.
Oh yeah, but
okay.
don't masturbate. Just have sex.
Okay.
Lots of it, because then you can win. It's endorphins and shit. Serotonin. Yeah.
I like the bold. I like that it just makes you bold.
Aren't you more confident? I'm always more confident when I'm having regular sex.
Yeah, exactly.
There we go.
Well, it's funny too, because like when you think of things similar to this type of event, like the Olympics, you hear those stories about like how many condoms they hand out and shit. That Olympic Village is just a fuck fest.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to go to Olympic Village, not for the fuck fest, but just wrong timing there. Okay. But I've always actually wanted to go and just hang out with the athletes. That would be so cool.
Well, I think it would be funny the summer ones, because there's so many events. They'd tell you something, you'd be like, what do you play now?
There's Summer Olympics?
You don't pay attention to those. Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah, Canadian.
Well, it's funny. It also reminds me too of like, not to bring up another boring sport, but baseball.
That's not boring.
You like baseball?
I do. I've been to a lot of games. No, soccer's not good.
And again, I'm not going to try to convince you.
No, I know.
That's a great take. I'm not going to try to convince you.
It's a beautiful game.
Because I don't care if people like it or not. I really don't give a shit. I mean, I enjoy it to a degree, but people always try to do that convincing thing. Like, oh, but you just don't understand. It's this and this and this. And I'm like, no, it doesn't. It's if you like it, you like it. You don't, you know.
I like gambling, and I like winning. So I've taken an interest.
That's why.
That's why. But
okay, gotcha.
It's boring. Like, flat out.
I can understand that.
And they're wimpy, but they're hot.
They are wimpy.
And there's some like, serious hot guys. I mean, holy shit. I went through the people's hottest guys, and I was like, what?
Yeah, there's some lookers out there.
Yeah.
That's for sure. And they're all fucking fit as shit, too, because they're running a million miles.
Do you see their thighs? Like,
yeah.
What's wrong with you?
Right. Yeah.
That's kind of gross,
we talked
actually.
You and I talked about on when we were DMing that the Shaqiri guy for Switzerland, that little He-Man dude.
Yes.
I mean, he's just like a 4'2" muscle.
Yes.
It's crazy.
Switzerland has 3 guys, I think, on the top 50 hottest. Yeah.
We should have run through that list. Maybe next time.
People, they have the top ones. Okay. I learned so much from People magazine. Holy shit.
That's a good primer for the tournament, though, because at least you have some familiarity with the people. Where was Ronaldo on that list?
Number 1.
He was? Okay.
Yeah.
I figured that would be the case.
Yeah. But my number one wasn't Ronaldo, actually, when I first
Was it
went through
Olivier?
it.
Was it Olivier Giroud for France? Handsome devil.
I don't like blondes. He's a blonde, right?
He's not blonde.
Oh,
no.
there was one
Tall,
guy
dark,
from
and
France.
handsome.
No, I think there was one guy from France, but I dropped my phone.
I was like, where are you going?
Sorry about that. I'm going down.
She's fading.
No, I don't know how to say his name. Dusan Tadic
Oh, okay.
from Serbia.
Look up Olivier Giroud. Giroud. Don't worry, I'll cut some of this out.
Yeah, I will look him up, but I did look up pretty much all the World Cup players, and he didn't make my list. So I think you're wrong.
All right. He used to be on the team I follow in the English league, so got to watch him every week. Handsome man. Anyway.
So wait, you watch soccer every week?
I don't every game, but I watch as many games as I can because they play a 38-game season, and then they also have other like cup competitions they do and leagues they do. So they end up probably playing closer to like 50 to 55 games a year. And it starts in the middle of August and runs into May.
That's not baseball.
It's a long season.
No, baseball's a long season.
It is, but that's just because the number of games.
That's
it's over a shorter period of time.
Yeah, well, if this takes fucking... that's what I don't understand. I don't understand the groups, Group G, like what? I don't understand how half these teams even have teams.
Like Iceland?
No, Iceland I actually understood. And my guy from Manitoba.
Yeah, right. Related to 22 of them. That was pretty funny. So I wanted to switch gears a little because anybody who listens to the show knows that we like to talk about two things, and one is sex bots, and two is my fear of technology. And I do enjoy certain technologies and technological advances, but I have some problems with others, namely when it comes to yielding control to robots and artificial intelligence. That makes me very nervous. Does that concern you at all?
No.
No? You're just like, fuck it, who cares?
Yeah.
God, I should adopt that attitude.
I actually remember your Amazon episode so clearly because I listened to it again because I was so pissed off at you.
It's the one where you were allowing Amazon to deliver your package inside your door.
Yes.
Yeah. That's fucking creepy.
You're a fucking freak.
I mean, that's a human at least, but still, you're giving him access. I don't like that. That's weird. And then there were other stuff that I saw this past week that like were red flags. Like somebody posted a video of a fucking drone with a flamethrower attached to it trying to burn like some clothes that got caught on a power line off. And I'm like, that's not going to end well having that device out there. And
okay, drones I'm not too sure about because I don't really know a lot about drones.
Well, they're scary because they can completely invade your privacy because they can just kind of go wherever they want to go.
You have a podcast. You are a very private person. I do give you that. I am not a private person. So to me, a drone isn't any big deal. If someone was like over my backyard taking pictures, I'd be like...
That was posing for those who can't see.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing that happened last week was I listened to, as did you, that episode of Deconstructing Dad where they're talking about that episode of Black Mirror. And I know this is a TV show, but it's still like getting a little too close to reality where the mom has like a chip put in her daughter's head and she can like monitor her with a fucking iPad. She can like see through her eyes and stuff. That's creepy shit.
That bothered me. I had bad dreams that night.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I could never watch that TV show.
No, that's the thing. People have told me about it and how great it is. And I'm like, I don't think so, especially for me and my fears. It's just going to make them worse.
Yeah, no Black Mirror, no Stranger Things either. That's bad.
See, I liked the first season, but I forgot to see. I just keep forgetting to watch the second season. My buddy was saying it was good. I've not watched it. My lady friend would not because it deals with kids.
That's right.
Yeah, anything with kids that looks a little too realistic, it's like nope.
No.
That's going to make me cringe. Yeah, exactly. I get that. But there's a couple stories I wanted to share that kind of made me pucker up a little bit this week. One is on autonomous cars. So I spoke several weeks ago about how I was maybe kind of warming up to the idea of autonomous cars just because there's so many shite drivers out there that maybe it's better to have them not be in control of their vehicles because they're fucking terrible at it.
Yes.
But I still feel like
retirement city.
Oh, that's right. You're dealing with them all the time. All the
90-year-old actually drove out of the A&W parking lot the other day over the curb and tried to go into the gas station and got hung up.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
She was hanging on the boulevard.
Oh, so yeah, maybe there's a certain age you hit where not only do you need to turn your license over, but yes, only autonomous cars.
Yes.
At that point, that makes more sense because they all make more mistakes.
Yes.
But we're sounding real mean on the old people right now, and that's a huge demographic for this show. Sponsored by Smothers Jellies and Jams. Anyway. So from funny. CNN.com, I saw this article, and it says the person behind, this is a little bit long, the person behind the wheel of the Uber self-driving
Why do you
Volvo,
quantify that?
What? That it's a little long?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just like to warn people. Bear with me is basically what I'm saying.
I know, but you shouldn't. Confident.
All right. The person behind the wheel of the Uber self-driving Volvo SUV that struck and killed a woman in Arizona was likely streaming The Voice on her cell phone at the time
I missed
of
something.
the incident.
Wait, what? Go back.
So
what?
I'll explain. So basically what's happening is Uber has these self-driving SUVs that they're testing out in Arizona, but they have somebody in the car just as kind of an emergency backup, to make sure that it's working properly.
A backup driver?
Yeah, like the driver is sitting there in the self-driving car. There's a driver there in case some shit goes wrong. They can take hold of the wheel, right?
Okay.
Because they don't totally trust their technology, right?
Obviously.
And as they should not. And so this person was sitting there streaming that stupid fucking show, The Voice. I don't know if you ever watched that show. It's terrible.
Never.
It's one of those like the people come up and sing and they who was on it? Like who's the guy from
Matt, I am the queen of reality television.
Oh, you know this show.
Oh yes.
Okay, sorry.
I make Chris watch it too.
Oh man.
Not this season. This season sucked.
Well, yes. So this person was so just embroiled in this show that they weren't paying attention. So the Tempe, Arizona Police Department released a document that sheds new light on what happened when the vehicle hit pedestrian Elaine Herzberg in March as she walked a bicycle across the road in Tempe. The test driver, Rafaela Vasquez, who was hired by Uber to sit behind the wheel and take over in case of emergencies, so just the backup plan, had both personal and business cell phones in the car at the time of the crash. According to data provided by Hulu, the driver was streaming NBC's popular show The Voice on the Hulu app for about 40 minutes, and then the end time coincides right with the crash, which I'm like, well, I hope so. I hope she didn't just keep watching for 5 or 10 minutes like, I got to see this.
But
I
she
think we
stopped
hit something back there.
She hit stop, though.
She stopped it after they plowed over a woman on her bike crossing the road. Right. I mean, Jesus Christ. And
I would never take that time to stop it.
You'd let it go?
Yes. I'd be like, holy fuck, I just hit a person.
She probably didn't want to get caught. She's like, I got to shut this thing off before somebody shows up, And the thing is, she's obviously
a bad person for thinking about The Voice over a person that you just...
Yes. Obviously, that's all. But my bigger issue...
You have a bigger issue than that?
My bigger issue is with the fact that this is a vehicle that is supposed to allow you... It's supposed to drive itself and not kill people. And yet you have to have a driver there. And because the driver was not paying attention for 30 seconds... You fucking plow over a person. So how can you ever trust this goddamn technology? I know they say it's getting better, but this kind of stuff is going to just continue to happen.
Okay, let's put this in perspective. How many accidents happened that day in Tempe? How many accidents happened at that intersection? This was one accident that happened from a self-driving car.
That's a fair argument.
I know.
I'm okay with you on that, but I just think that
it's like this Tide Pod challenge and shit. Like the media's like, oh my God, everybody's doing it. No, 5 kids did it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we have to relax and just be like, yeah, let them do it. Well, we can watch The Voice. Do you know how much we could do if we didn't have to drive?
I agree.
I live in my minivan, Matt.
I agree. That's the funny thing that I find about some of these things too, is like, I can't remember what the one is. It's like the Buick maybe it's the Buick, where it monitors your eyes. And if you keep turning your eyes down, it like stops the car. So it's driving the car sort of, but it wants you paying attention at all times. And it's like, okay, if I'm going to be paying attention to the road, then let me just drive the fucking car.
Yes.
If I'm not going to have to pay attention to the road and I can sit there and do shit on my phone or whatever, or take a fucking nap, then great. But I got to be able to trust that the thing is not going to, end up winding me up in a lake.
This is true. But you don't go on a lot of road trips.
Oh, are we going to get into the fact that I flew to Napa? Come on, it's far. I like I told you, I think it's more like 9 hours.
Well, we're driving to Portland, and it's 8 hours.
Yeah, I know. Well, you guys, I like road trips. I do. I enjoy them. But, and that would be the perfect case for one. You know, you could just freaking knock off in the back.
But okay, so when you do go on road trips, do you use cruise?
Not a lot. Sometimes,
no, me neither.
Only if I'm on a stretch that's totally wide open.
So you could just totally fall asleep at the wheel.
No, I don't fall asleep, but it's more like if I'm going to stretch this wide. So like, for instance, 2 weekends ago when I went up at like dark 30 to go up to Seattle for that.
Yeah.
I was driving at 4 a.m. So there was nobody around. So I could put it on cruise and sit there and, listen to music or, do whatever and still be paying attention and steering, but I didn't have to worry, I could rest my legs. Right.
I guess.
But normally I don't like cruise. Normally I don't.
Cruise. Yeah. No, yeah. I like to be a race car driver. So if it was 4 o'clock in the morning, I'd be like, ooh.
In your minivan, you're that race car driver.
Whatever. I didn't drive a minivan for my whole life. I remember when he got a 4-door, I was like, wow, we are so domesticated. Yeah. It was a hard sell on the minivan. Chris did his job. He was good. But
I've only heard everybody I've ever talked to who's a parent who's got a minivan is like, fuck it. I'm in. I like it.
You have 2 boys. I can't believe you don't have a minivan.
Yeah, we just have, we have one SUV. I've got a little dinky shit car.
Oh, I was going to say, I could picture you as an SUV guy. What do you drive?
Oh, I have a little Honda Civic.
Oh, of course you do. I pictured you as a Volvo guy.
But I work from home, so I don't need a nice car. So I've had this car since 2000,
Well, if you talk to Chris, he truly believes that Honda Civics are the end all be all. So you have a great car.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
He
That's
loves.
an interesting take.
I know.
I do not agree.
I know. I had a Jetta. He had a little hatchback Civic, and he's like, my car's better than yours. So I was like, fuck, my car heats my ass. Like,
yeah. Oh, no.
What does your car do?
Drives mostly. That's it. I do get a bunch of people putting cards in my car all the time. They're like, if you're ever going to sell this, like, why do so many people want to buy a goddamn Civic? I think it's just the parts. People just, those parts are just.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Is it black?
It is black.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. So just making judgments now on me and my style. I get it. You know what else I was thinking about though, by the way, with these fucking, and here's your conspiracy theory. You ready?
Oh, okay.
This is just a way for AI to start framing people for murdering people. Hey, it was the emergency driver that fucked it up. I'm just a silly computer. I made a mistake. The AI is going to get in there and start killing people and framing it on the driver that was supposed to do it. This poor Rafaela girl, maybe she wasn't even watching The Voice. Sorry. I'm not going to go that far.
She obviously was. That was not like a made up alibi.
No.
She would have picked something way cooler than The Voice.
Yeah, I would hope. It said during the 9 video segments obtained from the dash cam, because they've got a dash cam, she looked down 204 times. Her eyes were down more than 6 minutes. So basically, like almost 4 miles of a 12-mile run, her eyes were down.
That's
so about a third
terrible.
Of the yeah, that's not good.
Honestly, that's my biggest fear. I see people driving towards me and they're like little blue hair. I can barely see them over the dashboard and they're looking down. And I'm like, you're on the phone.
Yeah. And then the last minute jerk, where you're like, oh.
Yes.
Yeah. That's not good.
Not good. I don't use my phone while I'm driving.
No, that's smart. This is the latest. Let's see. Oh, we have a strict policy prohibiting this is a quote, mobile device usage for anyone operating our self-driving vehicles, this spokesman said, and that it is a fireable offense. Well, I hope so.
Right.
Because you're hitting people. I mean, they say it's a fireable offense to use a physical mobile device. So does that mean you're actually fiddling with it? Or does that mean you're listening to, I don't know, a podcast like Reasons Are Several or How Was Your Week, Honey?
Nicely done.
Joke grenade there. So
I do fiddle with mine.
yeah, but like not a lot. Like you're not sitting there like typing out full text messages and doing all this shit. You're like, changing. Oh, are you? Oh boy.
No. I don't. I never text. I don't even know how to text. Everything is by microphone.
Okay, gotcha.
So I just hit the microphone. So it's up on my dashboard, and I hit microphone, and I make my notes. I make my shopping lists. I text people back. So,
but all in the view of the road. So you're not taking your eyes off the road necessarily.
No.
Yeah.
And if, no. I do pull over a lot.
Do you? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's smart. That makes sense. So we talked about AI fucking with you on the road, literally killing people, and I understand your take on that. That makes sense. It's a small number to sacrifice for the greater good.
I don't mean to sound like that.
No. I get what you're saying. That's true. It's true.
Yeah.
So how about AI messing with your job? So this is a story I saw. I think maybe Brian sent this to us or something. It's a mishmash of two articles that were on some site called inquisitor.com and the New Zealand Herald.
I actually subscribe to both of those.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. You do read a lot.
I do.
So not content with taking our jobs, again, the machines have already started firing people. Have you heard this story?
No.
A California software developer has revealed how he was sacked from his job by a machine, quote, machine out for blood, and even his managers were powerless to stop it. Ibrahim Diallo, who is a programmer for a company in LA, describes what happened. So on the day he was technically fired, he got to work, his key card didn't work, and he was locked out of his computer and his applications. Later in the day, his recruiter leaves him a voicemail saying like, hey, I got a note that your contract's been terminated. And then eventually the fucking security guards come and escort him out of the building. All the while his manager and his like director have no idea this is going on. This is all AI process driven, like HR handling.
Okay,
so,
I'm scared actually right now.
This is weird. So it says all of this happened because his previous manager failed to renew his contract and then left. The person left the company, failed to renew the contract. So this triggered this entire automated system to go through. And it said it took 3 weeks to sort out the error. Quote, there's no way to stop the process. I had to be rehired as a new employee, meaning I had to fill up paperwork, set up direct deposit, wait for FedEx to ship a new card. I mean, Jesus Christ. And it says, although he was invited back, he's like, fuck this. He ended up taking another job. He's like, I'm not dealing with this.
Okay, so what are you upset with here?
I'm upset with the fact that I understand automation. Automation does a lot of great things. It makes things more mass produced and cheaper and all that kind of stuff. So there's obviously a place for it. But when you start allowing these processes to run without any triggers in place to stop them, that is like textbook definition, like movie, computer takeover, like where I can't stop it. They're running this process and we can do nothing about it. This guy's fired. Sorry. Because the computer decided that
The computer didn't decide. It said that someone didn't program it properly to let them know.
So one person fucks up and the whole thing runs through and you can't stop it.
But if someone fucks up, you could get fired or you could lose your job. I have been in this system where the paper has to go to one desk to next desk. As soon as it gets lost on a desk, you're fucked. So this has nothing to do with AI. This has nothing to do with AI. It's someone fucked up and led to this. Don't blame the AI.
Oh, I'm blaming the AI. You are just a defender of robots. Is this because they're listening and they're going to take care of you when they take over? Is that what it is?
I am so excited if they are listening.
I mean, I'm on board with the sex bots, but everything else, forget it.
I'm all about voyeurism. I mean, let's watch everything.
It was funny because it says AI expert Dave Coplin expressed his opinions on the matter. It's another example of failure of human thinking.
That's right.
Where they allow it to be humans versus machines rather than humans plus machines. I can't talk. One of the fundamental skills for all humans in an AI world is accountability. Just because the algorithm says it's the answer, it doesn't mean it actually is. Right, so we can't trust these fucking algorithms. Granted, designed by people. But you turn the fucking key over, all of a sudden the system runs and you can't get it back. That's a problem.
Do you read Dan Brown?
Oh, I mean, I've read a little bit.
Okay, so his last one, I don't know what it was called. symbol or something.
Mm-hmm. Sounds about right.
It's all about AI, and you should read it.
Oh, is it going to just scare me, or is it going to be like an echo chamber? It's just going to make me think, "Yep, I got it right."
No, because the AI is his friend. So yeah, it's a different take on it. You might enjoy it.
All right.
Get it in audio.
It's making me a little nervous. I don't know if I want to read that.
I'm not too scared about AI. I don't like that it went that far. But again, I think that it could have all been stopped. And this teaches us that this way doesn't work and we need to train the AI differently.
But you've heard these stories about where like they design AI and like different AI starts talking to each other in a language that the people don't even understand. That's
I do.
Freaky
yeah,
geeky.
But well, you know what? Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen do it, and we're okay with
that. That's fair. Oh my God. Well, I'm glad that you're trusting. Maybe I need to be more open to it, but that shit makes me nervous.
No, I'm not a very trusting person.
But technology, A-okay. People, fuck them.
Well, exactly, because I know people. I don't know technology.
You feel like they're going to act however they're programmed to act versus a person who you don't know because they could just be an asshole.
Yeah. And AI will turn into assholes, and then I won't trust them either. But right now, they've given me no reason not to.
Right now, we're cool.
That's right.
Okay.
It's when they want to start taking over the world.
Right. Well,
but
and see.
I already bought an acre on Mars, so I'm fine.
Excuse me?
I bought an acre on Mars.
Would you like to explain that?
What do you need explained?
How did you purchase such a thing? Where did you get it from? How is it official?
Well, I think I bought it for Chris for something. And
is this like naming a star?
No, I didn't do that shit.
But I mean, it kind of sounds similar.
Kinda. I bought him an acre on Mars, and I said, if AI ever takes over, we have a place to go.
Just an open plot. You still got to build there.
Whatevs. I mean, I'm a good interior decorator. I could do fine on Mars.
Okay.
I'm just checking all my bases, okay? I'm prepared.
Why stop at an acre? You might want more land than that.
I was thinking about that. But
Next year. I got you another acre, honey.
No. I watched Far and Away with Nicole Kidman and
Sure.
Tom Cruise. Okay, so they just went and put their flag in it, and I'm pretty sure that we have an acre, and if we put our flag in another acre, we could start a colony all of ourselves.
Oh my God, this creates such a funny picture of you guys landing somewhere on Mars and literally trying to run across the surface of Mars, figuring out where your acre is technically.
Exactly.
And then staking stuff in the ground. Oh my God, I would pay to see all this.
I'm a thinker. The big picture, Matt.
I like it. I think it's good because there is. I think we talked about on our show once those people that were building the space, the big space station, and you could buy something up there. That's another one. Maybe you need to get in on that next. Maybe that's your backup plan.
Well, that's a bit more expensive, I think.
Oh, I bet it is for sure. I mean, that's you're getting
Mars.
into well, that's getting into the territory where people are actually doing, where people are buying stuff in bomb shelters and shit. Have you seen that kind of crazy shit?
I have friends that actually believe there's an apocalypse coming, and they actually buy water and stuff to put down in their little crawl space and stuff.
But don't you feel like when that happens, it's just okay, just go ahead and have me be dead then, because I don't want to survive that.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you watch? Okay, you don't watch TV, but I watch the 100.
I do watch a little. I did not watch the 100.
Sports. Okay, so the 100, and it's really good actually, and it brings up these kind of topics, and it gets me thinking about these kind of things. And should I have water under the house and that? But I don't think so. I'm pretty good with just let me die. Yeah. Yeah.
Right. I don't think you want to survive. It's like they used to say, I mean, back when there was more concern over nuclear war, and it used to be do you
more
really want to survive that?
Really?
Well,
this is the most concern I've had in my life. I don't know.
Wait, but Kim Jong-un is our bud now. He's we're
he's
homies
your
now.
bud.
I'm just kidding. No, but I'm saying
sure that the whole world is against you, and we're just gonna get hit in the aftermath or something. The crossfire. I'm fuck, we're way too close to the American border right now.
Collateral damage. Exactly.
That's right.
Yeah.
Is that another Tom Cruise movie?
That is another Tom Cruise movie where Jamie Foxx is driving a cab and he's a fucking killer.
And now Katie Holmes is dating Jamie Foxx.
Oh my God. See?
Circle.
The circle is complete. And on that note, thanks for being on the show tonight, Kristin. Really appreciate it.
No problem.
I was going to say Annalise was the first gal to ever be on the show.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the first time I've ever done a show with a woman and another dude wasn't here. So
I know. This is the first time
going.
I haven't been sandwiched with you either. So
so it's a little different. No menage a pod.
No.
Just to remind everybody, so you are on Twitter at Maier, and your show is HWYWH.
Honey.
Correct?
I'm pretty sure
I
it's
think
honey.
the honey part comes in on the email. I think just your Twitter is HWYWH. I might be wrong there.
You know what? I don't even check that. So just
I'm the talent. I just show up. I got a guy who handles that stuff.
his name is Chris, and you
That's
can
right.
reach.
You could reach him at
I don't know.
olinernotes@gmail.com. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you very much for being on. Really appreciate it. Thank you for listening. Find us at reasonsareseveral.com. You can find us on all the podcatcher apps of your choice. Tweet at us at reasonsare. What's that? Play a pod. Play a pod. You got played. Tweet us at reasonsare, at angelsfreak7 for Neil. And you can email us at reasonsareseveral@gmail.com, but nobody ever really does. So anyway, Kristin, thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you.